Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the July 22nd, Monday, July 22nd meeting of the zoning board appeals. Call meeting to order 5:33. Agenda item number 1, the bulk area variance request for 4 row heights. Chris Timmons seeks a variance for pre-existing non-conformities for the purpose of constructing a new 2-unit residential structures. We've got some folks to talk about this.
How we doing?
Good evening.
So the property is currently a multi-unit, been deemed unsafe. We're looking to tear down and rebuild and seeking area variance for parking. David Funk is with me, architect, to help answer any questions you might have. Sure.
Good evening. So the existing parking behind the building right now occupies most of the back lot. Probably around 11 existing legal parking spaces and probably 4 utilized in other times. So what we're seeking is to allow for 13 parking spaces.
Now, the two-family, you say it's going to be a two-family. Turn it into a two-family residence. Is that good?
2-unit residential.
Unit residential.
3 apartments in each one?
Doesn't matter how many bedrooms, doesn't matter. Bedrooms don't matter. As long as it's up to square footage, that's in the property code.
Yeah.
2 units together or 2 separate units?
We're still, I mean, it's gonna be one building, but we're still kind of working through.
I think the raised question matters for the parking aspect of it. How many bedrooms in each unit?
Currently 6.
In each unit?
Yeah.
So that's why they need the park.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then one extra one for the guest.
Yep.
Sorry, Ray, I didn't even think about that. I looked at the park.
It's okay. May have not mattered to you, but it did to me.
No, I know why. I'm just, I wanted to clarify that we are not going with the other nasty stuff we used to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it looks like it's paving and then water handling and that kind of stuff is all to be handled by.
Yeah, that's it.
On site.
And it will be designed to our design standards listed in chapter 3. So it's gonna have trees.
Yeah.
Some green space, stuff like that.
Currently, there's a lot of heavy vegetation around existing.
Yeah, and slopes, see,
Yeah.
neighboring property. Okay.
So this is an awesome use for that property that's been vacant.
Yeah, here's along there with the. As we did those 2 that are.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, let's see. Just trying to.
So the only other issue then besides the parking would be that driveway is not,
Yeah.
the driveway isn't, when you pull up the hill, the existing driveway that's not gonna change is not, it's within that 4-foot vegetative strip going up the hill, so that's the only other issue. I reviewed everything else, lot size is fine, everything else is good.
Anybody else here to get on to anything regarding this? Seeing nobody here. Thank you, guys. Appreciate all the information. entertain a motion to close the public hearing. And a second. All those in favor of closing the public hearing, questions? Anybody have any comments or anything exciting to it? Following the test will be considered by the zoning board of appeals to determine whether the variance in weighing the granting or denial of the area variance requested. Whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby property will be created by the granting of the area variance. I'd say no. It's improve the area. Inspires others to do the same. What the benefits of the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other variants. No, because of the consistency the non-conformity is pre-existing. Whether the requested area variance is substantial, I'm not saying so on that one.
Nothing substantial.
Nothing substantial.
When you gotta tear it down, so he has to tear it down, so I'd still say no, because he's just gonna put back the same size.
It's actually gonna be less density.
Yeah.
Because right now it's,
Yeah.
3 unit, with how many bedrooms in each unit? This is only gonna be a 2 with 12, so.
Yeah.
It's actually gonna be a little less density,
So I'd say no.
Where the proposed variance have an adverse effect or impact on physical, environmental conditions in the neighborhood of the district. Whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, shall not necessarily preclude the granting of the area variance. I don't think that it's a standard.
He has to take it down.
I think this is something where there isn't going to be, the only other option is not to take it down, and you're going to take it down, so I think that's where we are. So they're all 5 no's on that one, Andy. I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Motion's been made, seconded to approve, bulk area variance for World Heights as presented tonight, and,
Chris.
Chris is still time. Yeah.
So I know you're concerned about the side of the building. It's not expanding outside of the building, should it's resolved.
Yeah, it's just,
Catch up, yeah, so it's.
if you remember, Kyle, down on Tompkins, there was a house that had been vacant, right next to the cemetery. And Jim Reeder's, their, he took it the same way. I remember being ZBA, he came before us. He, they really being right next to the cemetery. As you enter the city's college. So this is some of the neighborhoods.
So the last one we had like this, you were concerned about the size, you guys were
Yeah.
concerned about the size, this one, he's not expanding the actual footprint of the building.
I think we made some accommodations for instead of this way, yeah, I don't understand. Yeah,
And there's elevations drawing.
yeah.
I've learned to make sure that's.
We have a motion and we have a second, all in favor of granting the area variance for form of road, seems like it's coming back. Motion carries. You guys, Andy,
I'll have a second to papers. Fine, right?
next agenda item is bulk area variance 14 Glen Street, District Campbell. Seeks area variance for pre-existing non-conforming surface installing.
You guys understand.
I can answer.
purchased the property that's in back of us that goes borders Glen Street to the home parking lot.
Yeah.
There's a piece of land that was for sale, so we purchased that. We put the vinyl fence, we had a vinyl fence in our backyard. We moved it right up to the chain link fence. But the property line is actually 6 foot past into the parking lot. And they put the chain link fence there before. We went right down there. So we're actually 6 foot off the property line with our vinyl fence.
Yeah.
And we'd like to put a pool behind it. The dock.
So they're adding a structure, they're adding the non-conforming,
Yeah, yep.
so they need a variance because they're adding.
And the pool would be 4 foot off or 5 foot off the neighbor's property line, which would be 16 the 16 Brian and Nancy.
Yes.
It'd be 6 foot off their property line.
6 foot. Yeah.
Or 6 foot. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So if you have any other questions, I can fill you in with what's needed on the lot size, because it's an R1 district, needs to be 10K square feet. They've only got 6,518. The front yard needs to be 25 feet. They've only got 20 feet of front yard. Detached garage is supposed to be 4 foot up the property line, which it is not. And that detached garage is also on a vegetative strip, and the driveway and the detached garage are within the 4 foot vegetative strips. Okay. Yep.
Glen Street's a dead end street.
Yes.
And then it butts up to the plaza.
Yep.
There's a pen right there.
It's a highlight.
There's no pen.
There you go.
So the former corporation council gave that, so there was a bunch of landlocked property
Yeah.
between those and the back. Former corporation council allowed everyone on Glen to purchase that landlocked strip that was behind their property.
Is that why I see some vehicles
Yes.
parked
Yes,
there and then they use the,
yes.
I remember.
So the vehicles that are parked there are actually in court, but they're not in the city.
interesting, okay.
That's the line.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think that came before you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
So that might be in the city too. So that parking lot is actually the line, I think, right, isn't it?
Well, it's odd because I think Bill Porter owned that property, which isn't Portland Bill, because it used to be part of the Groton Ave parking lot. And then at some point, Bill Porter just gave it off to the city, and I think that's because it's the back of the residential.
Yeah.
So former corporation council allowed all these people to purchase that space, and the lot line adjustments were never done for all these people. So now they got to come back and do all the lot line adjustments too in front of it. It's like,
Okay. No,
that's actually, so right now that is two separate properties, but in 2 weeks it'll be one. They're doing a lot line adjustment.
Now, the details you put forth about size, does that include both
Yes,
lots?
that includes both.
That
of
is
them.
merged
Yes,
or
but that's,
added
yep, that's the version.
lots, okay,
It's still not 10,000 square feet.
yeah, so.
this is the bug room.
It is above.
No floodplain issues.
No, it's actually not. Believe it or not.
No, it's.
Okay. You go down towards the end of the street.
Yeah, that's what I wondered, 'cause. Yeah, same creek.
I think your daughter is, friends with, the
Yep.
neighbors right next to us.
Yep.
Just another one of those things where you're trying to bring the properties into conformity with our other stuff.
So, and. Right there.
Okay.
I keep forgetting where it is. Just say it's. Usually it's not 4 or 5. It's usually 2.
Yeah, when did we decide on it? And then can they say bulk area variances? They gotta list them all.
As described. Yeah, that's what it, that's your, yeah, okay. As long as not, I'm sorry, I think we probably dealt with this a couple of times.
Just a couple.
Yeah. Usually we miss some. 9-year-old little fish.
I like your reasoning.
But I thought,
9-year-old little fish.
oh, yes, I think that he seriously is.
Good, good, good.
If I could have it winterized, I'd just let him live in it.
With nobody else here to speak on that, I'm gonna ask for a motion to close the public hearing. Motion been made and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'll go through the questions again here. Whether undesirable change or, sorry, the following test would be considered by the zoning board of appeals to determine whether the variance waiting, granting or denial of the area variance request. Whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting of the area variance. Sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance. Again, I'd say no. Whether the requested area variance is substantial. Trade-off, because you're getting these other non-conformities in place. The proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on physical, environmental conditions in the neighborhood district. No, size. Whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, but shall not preclude the granting of the area variance. I think it is self-created. So we're gonna go yes. Or yes, indeed. I will move to approve the area variance for Glen Street. Second, great. Second is made. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Patience granted.
Thanks for the sign. I'll have you.
Next agenda, item, 3, bulk area variance for 30 Miller Street. Westcott seeks a bulk variance for pre-existing non-conformity for the purpose of installing a 6-foot privacy fence corner lot front yard.
Okay, good evening. I should probably just for the record point out that, it says Raymond Westcott, but I believe that was the gentleman who owned the property before me. I believe he passed away.
Oh,
My name is Michael Wallace.
Michael Wallace.
Correct. And I purchased the property, back in June.
Okay, I'm gonna wait just a second.
Okay.
Just hold this. He purchased it just last month.
Correct, yeah.
Thank you, guys.
See you later.
okay. Correct in the record here in terms of the applicant.
The applicant, should, by virtue of. It's Westcott. Michael Wallace.
Just like Barbara. no
Sorry,
relation.
Sorry, I feel like there's a brown rights.
Thank you.
So he's got.
Very good. Okay, and I also just want to clarify, I'm sure most of you probably understand, but just for clarification purposes, it says that I want to put a privacy fence on a corner lot front yard. I just want to clarify that. I guess since I'm on a corner lot, I technically have 2 front yards, but I'm really not wanting to put it on my front yard. It's just, I just want to put the fence back yard. So I'm facing Miller.
Yep.
And I don't want to extend the front yard of Miller, but I guess Stocker Street is the side street. It would be in the back portion. It's,
Your sketch shows.
yeah, it seems that when I went to apply for the permit that,
Yeah.
the city was under the impression the fence was already there for the previous owner, and I believe, well, it was, because I have a remnant left of the fence, but I suspect that it probably became dilapidated over time and just gradually got removed, and I'm essentially, gonna be just putting it back up, just with newer wood and, pressurized wood, and probably take better care of it.
Is the blue sketch, is that your fence dimensions, right? That's the blue.
You'll have to forgive me, I don't know, may I take a look?
Yeah. This is your, that's the fence.
No, that's the street, so this is Miller Street here, this is Stocker Street, but the yellow,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's, okay, right here. Just give it a look.
sorry for the
No,
confusion.
no, you're right. All right.
My artwork is phenomenal. I've done better work. Yeah.
And.
So that's from. So the site triangle.
Side, is there side of there?
No, it's still gonna pull it back 4 foot, so back out of his driveway, still with it.
Yeah, yeah, see it.
From the street.
It's gonna be 4 foot. You gotta leave 4 foot for,
Side to side.
sidewalk.
That's the problem.
Might they ever put a sidewalk on that side?
I don't know.
And I would just-
It had, back in 1996.
But they got rid of the sidewalk?
The sidewalk. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Just.
I guess my question would be, if I want to do the 4 feet from the road as required. But if they do decide later that they do want to put in a sidewalk, would I then have to move the fence back or? would
No,
you-
you'll be fine. It'll be grandfathered in.
No, just like your front, just like the Miller Streets, you just put it on the side. I just think that's what you're doing.
I'm putting it just on the Stocker side, right? But I just didn't know if they were ever gonna put a sidewalk back into Stocker, if that would interfere.
I don't think you'll see a walk right in there by the city.
Okay, I'm just trying to avoid, if that were to come to fruition, then I would then have to, move the fence.
No, you would not. Once it's there, it's grandfathered in.
Great, thank you.
No. Corrected the name and. Need a motion to. Hearing. Second, all in favor. Say aye. Thank you for coming up.
So you guys are approving the 6 foot fence in the front yard, and additionally, we're trying to bring this lot into conformity, so. It is in an R2, a lot of 6786, required in an R2 to be 7,500 square feet. The front yard on Miller Street is 8.9 foot, the front yard on Stockwood Place is 8.4 foot, both are required to be 25 feet. The detached garage is less than 4 feet off the property lines. It's also in the 4 foot vegetative strip, and like we talked about, the 6 foot fence in the front here.
Yeah, this is scheduled, so we are, in addition to this, will be. Variances for the various pieces. Yeah.
We've heard that. Not throughout the process, it's just a question of getting
Yeah.
started.
I just want. Because it just makes it property.
Yeah, we were, we've long been talking about this city at large, the the old factory straight across the street. And thinking that, when I looked at it originally, the first came out, I thought, it has to conform, well, the street, Stockton, does work. Stockton, no, Stockton is the one that would have to. And I don't know what that's gonna increase in its design or anything like that. So, can't tell.
No,
And then you're, you're doing the right thing. That, you want something, then they'll let you, whether they have to change it or they're right, sure. But I just don't, and I don't think it would, I just the size of what they proposed there, I can't imagine it's going to be anything that's gonna change in terms of its, streets, so. Why did condemn any land on each side of it?
Oh, I hope not. I just want to say, I like it.
It would be totally up to them to have developer of that. Do it, sure, you're doing your thing first.
Okay. And forgive me, this gentleman said something, but I didn't hear what he said.
No, I just said it's only gonna make your area nicer if they do get something to it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yeah, and I think my fence would improve the area too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that.
And the most important thing, my dog wants it, and I promised him when we moved that I was gonna, because we had a fence in Connecticut, and he loved to run around and play, now we don't have one, and he's on me, he's like, hey, man, you said you were gonna get a fence, hey, we gotta go through the proper channels.
Training program.
Yeah.
Smarter than a lot of people.
Absolutely.
That's very. Hearing, I think, looking at all the quantities, not sure I've seen anything that's different, and I don't even see. How
Oh, no worries.
it looks slow.
No worries.
Still. Non-conformities, that they were.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, if anybody else has any questions, you would. Pass, following, that's considered by the zoning board of appeals to determine whether the variance waived granting or the denial of the area variance request. What desirable change will be produced in character, the neighborhood, or a detriment to the nearby property will be created by the granting of the area variance. Nice and necessary, if there's a larger scale development happen, right across the street. What are the benefits left of the applicant to be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than area? Pre-existing condition, things like that. So surely get straightened out. Whether the request is substantial. I'm gonna say it's two fences. Sides of the property. Corner houses and stuff. pretty common, especially when you're trying to keep animals, kids, and other things inside. So you know, proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical environmental conditions of the neighboring district. I say no, that's where these are too. It's kind of child care there. Street. Whether the self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board that shall not necessarily include the granting of the area variance. Yes, there is, something that he has. The additional, non-conformities or certainly exist. Fences, way to mitigate that, I don't know, it's balanced. Four no's and a yes. Entertain a motion. During all the requests. For 30 minutes. Motion been made to approve. The seconded. First reading. Andy will have some for you.
So, thank you. Have your permit issued within the next couple of days, okay?
Thank you so much, yeah.
Agenda item number 4. Request for 8 Park Avenue. Lori Rousey is. Seeks a public hearing for pre-existing non-conformities for the purpose of installing a fence. Wait here for that. For avoiding that.
You here for this? You, which one are you? Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm going to represent Mrs. Mosley. Currently, Bartlett Ave is, I don't know what the verbiage I'm looking for that's politically correct. She has a bunch of grandkids and stuff over there all the time. And Bartlett currently has some issues with crime and other things. Yeah. So she's requesting to put a 6-foot fence in her front yard that butts up to the 6-foot fence that was put on, that you guys approved on.
Yeah.
On the corner.
Yeah, going that way.
Yeah, so that fence her 6-foot fence will butt up, because she just doesn't want people. It's a rough neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And she just. I told her I'd talk to you guys about it, because I mean, she's got a bunch of little kids that she doesn't want
Yeah.
Any issues with them looking over or reaching over a 4-foot ticket and grabbing a kid out of the fence or anything, so. So she's lined it up with that fence that was approved previously.
Yeah.
It is about 10, it's only in the one side, so I'd say it's at least 10 feet away from the driveway.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. So, yeah, what's the address? 738 Bartlett. You can see the chain link fence right out there.
And just like everything else, there's a couple of other things there. Detached garage is less than 4 feet off the property line. Front yard's only 13 feet. And the fence, obviously.
Where she got the idea to do it.
And because that detached garage is not 4 feet off the property line, that also means it's within the vegetative strip, so.
Yeah. Okay. You else have any questions for Lori? Nope. Representing. Hearing.
I just want to reiterate, Meg, I have no problem with it. That is a pretty rough neighborhood right
Yeah,
now.
good to hear.
So,
Good to hear. But through the tests again, looking at
and also, that'll be there is a walk there, and that'll be 4 foot back.
sort of that. Yes. So I didn't see the scale.
Yeah, it's not the scale. I do my best.
Yeah.
I just draw.
I can tell it's just so. Okay, the following test will be considered by the zoning board, to determine whether the variance waiving the granting or denial undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood. So, whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than an area variance. It's no. Non-conformities exist. Whether the requested area is substantial. I agree, it is something that is kind of becoming more and more commonplace to do things. When it comes to that, but that's one of the things, a few things that a home has to do. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical, environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. No, there as well. Whether the alleged difficulty is self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, but shall not necessarily include the granting of the area. But I will begin. Yes, on that one. Something to react to a condition, as Roy pointed out. I think it is something that is, and I don't know whether that self-created, but.
So, yeah, I mean, that's,
Yeah, I mean,
as far as like what that's property.
yeah,
I mean, there's the whole idea. I agree that you should make 100% for an event, but what about the idea of just like that? It's not so. Just doesn't have to be so close to the minimum match thickness, right? You still get your privacy, still get your fence area, but the whole idea of not having a 6-foot fence so close to the street is it, right? It's a good feeling, and so it's not, as far as like creating help in the neighborhood, like not feel like a dangerous neighborhood, having a fence built that close to all the sidewalk kind of like hurts that feeling if it ever.
I can see that. I can see that.
Just the idea of like, still have that, but just to move it back a bit far, so if there's an existing chain link fence. Perhaps that matches the where the house is, right, so.
So that's been taken down.
Right, I would assume it could be there, but could that new fence could go out to the porch, right, maybe like over, the porch looks like it's 4 or 6 feet, so. What about that idea of like not having it all the way up there to that property, but just with 6 feet or something?
Were you saying that she wants to line it up with that neighboring property?
Yeah, and that's
That's
that,
that corner lots we can do that with the K up to. The idea of like, it's a corner lot, so you can't get, that we don't tend not to like allow. Lots that aren't lots have their fence all around, it just could have kind of creates that. Feeling of like, hey, but here's my tight little neighborhood with 6-foot fence all the way out to the sidewalk, so just to kind of help improve that feeling of the neighborhood, it's not. Set house quite so far, but just 6 feet or something. Sure, you're losing like a little bit of her like yard or play safe area, but. It's that idea of like, just even with a porch or something.
Yeah, I, on that. See continuity, if you have to do it, is the other thing to do. Strip. Just to see being. Necessarily isn't really the idea that there's a division property. That's kind of what I see, well, it's clearly the corner lot. Establishing privacy fence for that purpose, so does now.
Well,
Any part of that now.
yeah, is this a roundabout street? In other words, there's no outlet, it's just a circular street, doesn't it go around?
no, yeah, you can get to Hyatt 2 ways. You can go down, you can go around on Mandel Ave, and there's another street.
Okay, so this is almost like almost like a cul-de-sac style.
Yeah, almost.
Street,
Yeah, if it had more traffic, I'd be inclined to think like you were thinking.
That's what I was thinking too.
It's pretty, very clear.
And the business isn't open anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Debate bench.
I'm not sure. Yes.
Bandus? Yeah. We're the on the street.
Yeah, we, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. See all that part, yeah. Was a really good Italian restaurant at the time.
Yeah, one time, boy.
Walk, take a text. I don't have to- A motion for the department. Make that. Teddy has a motion to approve. Okay, the variance for each department. Starting with the application and a second, all in favor, saying aye. Aye. Right. Carries. Agenda item number 5. Bulk area variance for 30 and 32 East Ave. Aaron Netting seeks a bulk variance for pre-existing non-conformities for the purpose of installing an overhang.
Mr. Nettie is not here. I've tried to get a hold of him multiple times. I happen to do it, right? I did, so. Right here. So, oh, sure.
Now, where's he gonna put it at? It's left to the right side.
I think he's going back here. He wasn't clear. I gotta look at me, it might be possibly already has, that's, might be possible, he's already got special use. Permit for that. I don't know.
Okay.
Obviously, you can't run a home occupation in residential district.
That was my question.
Do you not know the answer to that? I was looking at that before, but I didn't investigate it. It's on my list of things to do.
So this will, he needs all these inspections for.
Yeah, cause
Yeah, okay, so this is more.
I know.
Inspections talk. So. cheaper. Yeah. Well, I don't know whether you guys know, so what we've done with the approval of the corporation council. These people come in right when they need the building permits scheduled, they never come in before they. They come in right when their contract is scheduled.
Yeah.
And they want it now. So what? Talking with AJ, we developed a waiver form that they can sign to do the work prior to coming to you guys.
Yeah.
That clearly states that if you guys want changes or deny it, they won't hold the city liable if we tell them to take it down and make changes.
Is that so in this case?
He has signed it, yes.
Yeah, you-
He also has to pick up the permit, so he's got it. So it's not true in this case.
This is your former.
I would like those questions that I had. I'd like to know those before.
Where it's going. Well, whether it's
Before it's business, right?
without use.
You can certainly. Yeah, what I guess.
I think that it might be the. I think that it might be I don't. Yeah, I think, I'm gonna agree with Lloyd. Sorry.
Per se,
I agree with Ray. If the use for this is something that. It's copies. So, sure, it's here, that's- And we can condition, do, if use, if it's to keep the snow off, of some of the antique car, whatever. What it be, it's telling, we condition. So,
I can tell you, call this one, it says Mark.
Okay.
So,
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to a lot of people that do those side things, or.
you've had people in here in the past that are doing business out of the houses that went through the proper steps, that got special.
They've all make those. Motion to made table, for additional questions of the ZBA. Yeah. Mr. Denny, for second. Second made. All approved, if I was saying aye. Where motion is table.
There it is. It's down in the back, right? It's down in the back. Where is it? Down, you face the house on the outside. So I can see this.
It was very easy because we did the drawing,
Yeah.
is the other drawing shows how. Public back.
Yeah, the one
says-
it's here. Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's not there.
it's good, yeah.
It's shooting, right? Sir, what number are you on the agenda?
Atkins hat. Number 7, I believe.
Yeah, okay. We're going. We're moving along, I was moving a lot, but move through here pretty quick. Next item, agenda item number 6 is, Mulberry variance request for 21 Sunnyfield Drive. John Raymond seeks a bulk variance for pre-existing non-conformities for the purpose of expansion of the front porch.
So if you look at this picture here.
Seventeen feet.
Do you have a porch prior?
Is it in the front?
Yeah.
No,
It's coming
it's just a little
out,
set of steps.
just a set of steps. 8 feet out, 32 high.
Yes.
Look at the house, kind of 2 down from it, kind of matches their porch.
Boy, this is anything. Says. Porch, covered porch.
The building permits here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, really gave me no. Yeah, those are
These are
Sears homes.
Sears, these are-
Arden,
Sears.
I think they were built as flood homes or something like that, back way.
So they're on slab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no,
We have these.
yeah, they,
Tradition in large, so it doesn't, you're just saying large from whatever. Little.
530 porch. That's the message I got, that's all.
So 11, you're at
8 by 24.
That's the message she wrote.
Does she have any drawings, plans?
I got nothing. They literally got nothing,
Yeah, Chris.
not issued a permit, like it's, oh, just telling you, that's.
or right next to the red car.
It's. On the scale here, it's almost.
Yeah, it was all there.
Well, gosh.
I'd like to see that so much.
That's what she wrote.
Eight by 24. So 24. What does it? That's will be part, well, I think.
It's part of the variance, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 30.
You guys got.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we can- Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of the condition.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Big consistent as we had.
It is down, yes, it is true. It's got a two. It's got a. It's got a.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the shape of a driveway too, it doesn't really make sense for
Yeah.
what it wants to do.
Yeah, in mind that we would like to ask her some questions.
I tried to call her and the number's been disconnected, so. I would, I mean, if you guys want more questions, definitely table it, I'll attempt to contact her again.
Yeah, and because my question, like you know, in addition to grappling, she's got another spot, which is on the front yard, which is one of the formaries, I think, so. And, yeah, she comes out and says, well, yeah, pay that, then that's yet another formative that's not. Yeah. I think, my own feeling is to table and, ask her to come in and ask us, or answer a couple questions about it, but I think not that it's a question, and question, I think.
Well, so we look what the follow the requests are.
Yeah, so that's something we need to spend a little more time on, say.
Great.
How's the schedule would be like?
Table, I'll try to call her again, I tried twice table.
I'm gonna close the public hearing, entertain a motion for that. Second, I made a motion in the second, close the public hearing. And then, kind of shows the table, and motion or table. Detail of what she's willing to do, now, not for these, particular. Motion to make second, all in favor, say aye.
Tom, the information that you're looking for is what again?
Is information on the construction of the new porch. And some questions we have about the non-conformity of the Atkins Avenue, 18 Atkins Avenue, the variance request Jeff and Vita seeks a variance for pre-existing non-conformities for the purpose of the work.
Yeah, just to let you know, it's from Fran, sure, he's gonna represent
That's correct. Oh, okay,
from Fran, sure.
okay,
Her husband's suffering from dementia, so.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just getting one, the rest of the lot, it's one of the few in the city that are actually conforming, except for the front yard. Just 25 foot. 25 foot front yard, everything else is fine. That's one of those rare ones we're only gonna do one for.
Right, my kids say that it's best with the ball. You can have.
Well, we used to play football with your brother behind the sister's house.
Yes, it's his sister.
Down on Helen Ave down there.
Yeah,
Yeah, we used to play football right, that little vacant lot back in there.
He was slow in his early years.
right.
Me?
No, terrible.
He's lucky.
You played basketball. Me, you brought Mark Francher,
Yeah.
Billy Little, Kevin Handy, all those guys. But I went Dexter, right? That's before everything went south, it became Dells. Some people went one way, some people went the other.
Yeah.
It was much easier back then, so
It was.
really went the other.
All right, so is this as an existing front porch, we want to take it down and do front porch?
Yeah, there's an existing porch, it's like 5 foot by 15 foot, or I'm sorry, 10 foot. And so we're just gonna expand it to 16 by 16, which
So you're-
aligns perfectly with the back of the house.
So you're not taking it there, you just
I'm
expand.
just gonna add to it, and then after looking at the construction, the only thing I would change on the plan is just to follow, they did 5 foot centers, 3 posts, so I would just add a 4th post. And that would be a 6 foot center to make it that 16, but then I would just carry it back 8 foot. So it would decrease the amount of posts and concrete and piers, but it'd all be within 8 foot.
There's a note on here.
Yeah, that floodplain actually goes between my driveway, I'm across the street, my driveway, my neighbor, that's the floodplain, I'm out, she's in, and the way it draws, she's not in it either.
So it's kind of the same as you guys were questioning.
Glen, yeah, so when you draw the line, it gets wider as you get closer to Broadway, but the light on Broadway. It expands, it's funny, it's the groundwater issue really. Yeah, never get groundwater.
Yeah, I'm over on Hamlet and I'm supposedly right in the center. Never had it.
Right, it's weird.
The only flood I ever had was when the swimming pool there broke. That was it.
Exactly, it's really that bridge really straightened everything, that's weird. That's there.
That's FEMA, man. Like,
Yeah, I know.
whenever FEMA draws up, we gotta go by.
I know. Those are tough.
Yeah.
Thanks for. Close the code.
Good.
The motion and second, I'll say, all in favor, Yes, aye. Aye. Alright, answer some questions here. Following test will be considered as being granting or denying. Desire to change or reduce in character, behavior, or detriment to nearby property. Agreed with the variance. Oh. So it can be achieved by some feasible. There's one, whether the requested variance is substantial. So. Whether the proposed variance would have an impact on conditions in the district. Now, whether the alleged difficulty is self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, but shall not necessarily include granting the area variance. Yes. Later. Question. Is there variance?
Nope.
Yes. Make a motion, chair to approve the for Avenue as described. Yeah. Second, all in favor, say aye. 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 Carries.
Would you be against moving up the
9.
9 up now, because she's here and the other person not?
Yes, let's do that. I'm going to further the chair to the afternoon 9. Listen to that area variance request and Diane Roots. Since the variance for pre-existing non-conformities for the purpose of constructing a new. Screens here.
Right now, I'll come in tomorrow, get the next couple of days, I get the permit out.
Just a point of clarification, my first name has 2 N's in it. My application is correct,
Diane.
but it's Dianne, and I just want to make sure.
So,
You can describe for us what it is you want to do, have Roy sketch one.
I have a little teeny ranch house and my front steps were made of concrete and brick and all the, concrete in between the bricks is all dilapidated. All the bricks moved, the post office actually asked me to move my mailbox because they,
Oh, I didn't want to.
because there's a concrete pieces across, and one of them broke right in half, so it's on the wobbly side.
Okay.
So I would like to make it a little bit bigger. I wanted to increase it a foot to the north and a foot to the south.
Yep.
And a foot out a little bit, so I can put a little table and chairs out there, and I also want to put a roof on top. I know it's all up.
8 foot by 4 is that looking at here.
Is that the permit was filed a while ago.
Yeah. Ready?
Pardon?
Just a chill spot.
Yes,
Hopefully we'll have more sun than rain.
well, I have a tree up front, but
That's right.
it's very back and in the, it's very nice in the front of the tree.
So
I'm curious, did this ever have a sidewalk on this street?
No, well,
It's just, when I look at the driveways of you and your neighbor, you have sidewalks.
there was a sidewalk actually in the driveway alone. I had, but when I had the new
So,
driveway put in, they took.
Mildred is weird. You'll go through houses without a walk, and you have somebody with a walk, and you go,
Yeah.
it's just, it's strange.
I just wanted.
It's very, I didn't have a sidewalk, so, yeah, but I did have it in my driveway. When I had the new driveway put in.
So
Okay.
this one is gonna be lot size again, because it's an R1 neighborhood. It's 6214, should be 10K. Another front yard is 15, not 25. The side yard at one side is 2.5, not 7 foot. And we also have the footnote that the detached garage is only 2.8, not 4 foot property. Which means it's also in a vegetative strip. Right?
Can I ask you a question? Does this mean if I get the variance to do this, like if my neighbor and I wanted to put a fence between the 2 yards?
Fence, you can put a fence in the fence right on the property.
Oh, you can? Okay, but would we have to come for another permit?
Nope.
No.
Well, yeah, for fence permit, but you'll already have all the variances you need, so.
Okay, great, thank you.
All right, I'm move to close the public hearing itself. Second, we have a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Good, any questions to discuss with the lawyer, the test, the follow test will be considered as if it's here. Whether desirable change will be produced, the character of the neighborhood detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting. Balance. Whether the achieved by some not feasible for the applicant to pursue. Substantial. Some say no, it's a good addition to the house. Impact support environmental conditions in neighborhood or district. Yeah, and whether the alleged problem was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant, decision shall not necessarily. Pass. It's some. Contrary, anybody thinks differently. Pretty standard course, so it's one of those, yes. And motion. For the variance in case of ignorant. Made. And second. Motion. Motion carries.
Permit the check. Does he have to come back in or will he get it or? should I-
You gotta, as you can see, I've got a bunch of taste.
But, well, I mean, should we just, he'll get it eventually?
I'll get these all out within the next couple of days.
I just.
Yeah, but and now when they're done, we'll call you, come pick it up,
Okay.
or we'll mail it, whatever.
I should know the part that's on that. Thank you.
You want.
We go back to the agenda, item number 3. Well, area variance, 52A, Evergreen Street, and yet all seeks to go variance for pre-existing non-conforming structures.
So I'm speaking to Ms. Paul, her kids had she apologized for not being here. Her kids had a dance practice or dance recital or something. Mrs. Hall is applying, requesting relief from lot size. It is in an R1 district, 87 square feet, or should be 10 square feet. Front yard's 20, should be 25. Detached garage is not 4 foot from the property line. And since the detached garage is not 4 foot from the property line, it's also within the vegetative strip. They're doing a bunch of work. There it is. And that, again, that's not scaled, that's very close.
These are proposals.
It's 48, actually.
48. It's got to be more than 48 then.
So I think it's above ground pool line.
Yeah.
But then the deck's got, so yeah, it's easier in this case, just put a fence in it.
It's pretty well sketched out. Question where. We we have, a lot of times we look at the sidewalks, it's getting close to the pervious.
No, I checked the lot coverage.
Yeah, so
I felt it was close.
too, so, yeah.
It does not exceed the 60%.
Yeah,
And I'll go over, I got a tool I can use to go around all the lot coverage, and then I'll do the percentage. that comes up.
all right.
So this one was still under the 60.
And they look like they're 10 feet away from this property line.
Yeah, the new construction is proposed is going to conform. Yeah. So it's
Just a pre-existing.
pre-existing stuff. Rebuilt.
But again, you're adding to a non-conforming use. You can't do that unless you make the non-conforming use correct.
So we have to, I don't have any other question, anybody's.
Nope.
That's what we consider. I would consider. Whether undesirable change will be reduced to character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby property will be created by granting the area variance. No, that. Sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue. Pre-existing conditions again, as well as new construction, so it's substantial. I think so. If what the proposed variance would have conditions in neighborhood district. So. Which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board, but shall not necessarily include the grant years there. And I think new construction, so yes.
Well, remember the new construction, it's conforming,
New construction, that's the. Going, yes,
we're dealing with pre-existing stuff.
pre-existing is not really, there was, lot size considerations as well as ownership. So I think, done a motion for regard to the area variance request. 52A Third Street. Motion made by Kennedy, second, usually. I will second the motion and all in favor, by the same aye. Motion carries.
On that last, question number 5%.
We didn't know on that, so it's 5 no's.
Just a short full outside. Really, the only one better.
Jack, anything else for me? You're all set?
You did them all, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Next up is minutes from prior.
Yeah, from 2 prior sessions.
Prior, yes.
Got this up to you all.
So we are,
Well, those are everything pretty good.
June 3rd. Is it? ZBA minutes from June 3rd. Some agenda items. And, I didn't see anything where I looked at it. I like summarizes the questions and these are one here. This lengthy discussions. Yeah, so I wish to approve the June 3rd minutes of ZBA.
I'll say,
Kyle is making the motion.
yes.
Kyle is making the motion. I will second the motion to approve the June 3rd, 2024 minutes. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Carries. Let's go to the, ZBA minutes of June 24. 6 agenda items. And 12. Revisions. Motion. Kyle has made a motion to approve June 24th. So ZBA, I would second. All signify by saying aye. Carries, minutes are approved. 3rd June 24th. Motion been made to adjourn, seconded.
Do have some exciting news for you for next month's meetings. I believe Christopher Communities is gonna come to you guys and the site plan
Yeah.
to present a new 60-unit complex being built on Horn.
Like an old YMCA. The last, there's a pending.
Well, the Y is gonna be involved with
You're gonna tear down that old.
Dollar
it.
General.
They're gonna tear down everything up to so the Dollar General building's gonna stay and it's just go straight back. They're gonna put 30 unit with a 30 unit, and then a community building in the middle. So the slants up, so
That's the same outfit that did that.
Gracie Brown.
So
Kind of where it's right next. to-
I, they're gonna be parking.
Oh,
Probably lot
they built
coverage.
it wide.
I don't think.
No,
it's-
one that they built pretty bad.
It's GB two, there might not be lot coverage, but there's gonna be a few.
Yeah.
Right?
And parking lots, yeah, it's-
Probably will be parked. Kind of the same thing you guys did for the other one.
That's why I brought this.
We just came back this month for an extension, because they just got
I
there.
don't think, according to David,
I don't know.
I think they're coming to you guys, well, I know they're coming to site plan, I gotta figure it.
They had 1 year.
All right, guys, I gotta
All
get
right.
out here tonight and hit the shit, but you turn your machines off, please.
Mine was,
Button down, actually, get turned on.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I held.
That's all.